Yeah. Yeah. No, what I was saying, that I was brought up by Catholics and la, la, la. I went to a Catholic school with Catholic nuns and blah, blah, and what happened to me happened there with nuns.
And again, it's the very people that we would teach our children to trust, that they're safe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
I have never told my parents what happened ever.
Oh,
Because
bless you.
no, because the thing is, I knew. I mean, my mom is. I mean, you want to speak about narcissists? My mom is a prime example, right?
Okay.
That's why I have chosen the man I have chosen, because the sample I
Yeah.
have was my mother. So I went to what I knew, but because it is
I
like a
can't
drug, I
type in
went for
chat.
a bad one, to a next bad one, to another bad one, and the last one was just the, But
And that's the cycle of abuse, isn't it?
yeah. It's a lot of
Emma,
stuff.
I've been asked to ask you
Yes.
because I've been asked to ask you. Can you provide again some info about Lucy?
Would you like my how I've become involved in this?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am a 44-year-old mum of 6 children. I have 3 grandchildren. I've been an online agony aunt for about 14 years. I run a great big parenting group over on Facebook. I was pretty much new to TikTok. Love TikTok for the music, the filters, the silly dancing, the lip syncing, and none of this is part of anything that I would be involved in. I grew my account. I began doing lives. I've never done battles. I've never done gifts. My lives were with other, mainly women. There were a few men, but just incredible, inspirational.
Fat Freak, welcome in, Fat Freak. Sorry.
Hello, Fat Freak, my lovely. He comes into my story. And I began doing lives, and as I began opening up a bit about my past, so I was a child victim of SA. I, at the age of 17, met my first husband and would suffer 11 years severe domestic violence. I lost teeth, fractured jaws, 3 children during that marriage. I left that marriage, married a second time, 9 years, absolutely fine. I then, after that second marriage, extremely vulnerable, fell into a narcissistic entanglement. He was actually diagnosed with NPD. 18 months of just sheer hell. I've spoken very openly about my past 17 years problems with eating. I'm always quite cautious of the wording I use. And TikTok lives were very open and honest and beautiful, and I met so many incredible people. Lucy obviously had watched perhaps some of my lives. I don't know when, but she actually reached out to me on TikTok and basically said, "Hey, hi, I know you're a DV and narc survivor. You look pretty on screen, but actually you're not really qualified. You shouldn't really be giving advice." And I said, "Well, I'm not giving advice. I'm sharing my story, or the people are sharing theirs. We're not offering advice. We're just saying this is our story." And the interaction began. So she kind of said, "Well, look, next time you're doing a live, let me know." So she jumped into my lives, and she started joining maybe 2 or 3 of my lives each week. Her advice was always what I could call knowledgeable. She certainly spoke as an expert. She was very professional when giving advice, although she did have quite an aggressive tone. It was, to me, more she was passionate about the subject. Obviously, for 4 months, her and I began talking. What she would say is, "You've got the big following. I'm new to TikTok." That was actually the first lie she taught me, because she'd actually had at least 4 accounts bananaed prior to. She was the no contact coach when she met me. quite a few of my regular followers and viewers kind of approached me and said, wow, this is turning into the Lucy show, Em. You know, kind of, she's overtaking things a little bit. But I valued her time and, you know, and we became, I suppose, what you would call friends. She would private message me problems within her relationship. She stated she's written 4 books. You know, I guess for me there was maybe a bit of imposter syndrome. I think because of my diagnosis of bipolar and post-traumatic stress disorder, I've been under the mental health team for many, many years, and I've always been taught that the professionals know best. So I think when she was listing off all her qualifications, she spoke better than me. She knew the correct terminology when discussing things like narcissism. You know, I didn't particularly understand what gaslighting or triangulation was. I didn't particularly understand what any of these things meant. She did, down to the letter T. But of course, my lives weren't always about narcissism. And what I did find strange was that was the only topic she was able to talk about. And if somebody asked a genuine question, she would always, he's a narcissist. Well, like, not everybody's a narcissist. It was a little bit strange. It was during one of the lives when I noticed my comment section becoming a little bit crazy. And there was a lady who kept writing, do you know that somebody in your live box is a peddler? Now, straight away, you kind of, you know, when you're doing a live and your face is on camera and you're kind of reading your comments, and I was thinking, like, there was about 9 of us in the box, and I was thinking, like, what? Is it a troll? You know, after the live had ended, somebody actually reached out to me and said, hey, I've been following you for a while now. I think you're great. I love your little community that you've built. But do you know that the no contact coach is Lucy Hawley? And obviously, well, no, she's not. That's not her surname. She's called Hawksby, because that's what her books are under. Obviously, prior to this, because her being a coach, she kind of made a I don't know what it's called, like a business interaction, I suppose. And what she said was, if she could offer me some free coaching sessions, bearing in mind at this time she was charging £35 an hour for them, if I would have some coaching sessions with her and I found her professional, would I then in return advertise her services and her books on my platform online? As I say, for 14 years I've done what I've done on Facebook, so I have a very large community over there. You know, there's 25k over on Twitter, now called X. I've got a big following on Insta. She obviously knew I had quite a big reach online. And I said, yes, of course, you know, I'll help anybody. But, you know, I thought we were kind of friends. I'd shared personal things about myself, my children, my everyday, you know, life. We spoke most days. So this coaching session, you know, 14 years under the mental health service, I'm very open. So I didn't find it overly strange to be talking about things. But what she said was, I always like to know your childhood. Excuse me. Because then, you know, your childhood says so much about you. So, as I said before, I delved into some very deep, dark, personal places. My childhood wasn't the best. Those things aren't things that I would ever bring to TikTok. These are very personal things. Obviously, you know, as I said, I do have 6 children. All 6 have TikTok. So some of the things I would never, ever have disclosed. But I did to her because, you know, she was a professional. She'd already listed a whole list of qualifications, which on paper looks incredibly good. I spoke very openly about my 11-year domestic violence marriage and the guilt as a mother that I carried with me to this day. I did leave that marriage when my eldest child was 8 years old, but there's still a lot of guilt because I stayed for so long. And I, again, disclosed things that, you know, most people would not know about me. She would... All these kind of things were done by voice notes, via WhatsApp. There wasn't much FaceTime going on. And I'm guessing this is because she keeps voice notes. She's been known to do this many, many times, as I've sadly found out. I actually became Lucy's first moderator on her own lives. And I was moderating for her quite regularly over that 4-month period too. I was added to a WhatsApp group with 88 other women. And it was during, I believe the Fact Freak had done a deep dive on her. I think it was an evening he'd done it. And the WhatsApp group just became a circus. It was crazy. It was chaotic. And basically what Lucy was telling all 88 of us to do, we must go and take down the Fact Freak. It doesn't matter what we did to him, we had to take him out. Sadly, I saw people going and mass reporting him. I actually went and viewed his deep dive video and I was absolutely gobsmacked, bearing in mind the night before obviously I'd received this message giving me her real name. I did go and Google that name and there's no denying it was her because, you know, there is images of her on Google. You know, it's not just a name. Her face is there. This is you. There was no denying it. But it was a very sickening and very frightening and very confusing. And this is a woman I had befriended. I had also shared some very traumatic events that happened to me as a child at the hands of a child perpetrator. So I just felt humiliated. I was, I suppose, taken back to being that frightened little girl even. And it was a really, really horrible, horrible feeling to know I'd just spent the last 4 months talking to a peddler. I'd brought this woman, not so much brought her into my life, but, you know, when I was talking to her, my children were in the background, and it was a very, very sickening feeling. On the WhatsApp group one evening, I'd watched the Fact Freaks. I actually reached out to the Fact Freak personally and kind of held my hands up and I suppose apologised in a way and said, hey, you know, I've just watched your deep dive. I want to be brutally honest with you here. I am now in this WhatsApp group with her and 88 other women. Some of the voice notes in there was the last straw for me. Lucy and another creator on here basically teamed together. Now I believe that's the Fact Freak story to tell, but I believe he'd already had a past history with one of the other ladies who had also, you know, created a lot of disgusting drama for him. They tag teamed up basically, and with another 2-3 other women, Lucy was basically asking them all to come together and falsify some extremely damaging, disgusting claims against the Fact Freak to try and set him up for a crime he didn't commit. Now, I had all these voice notes and I sent them all to the Fact Freak. She would obviously go on to call me a grass and she sent 88 women after me, but there was no way I was going to be able to have this information that they were going to falsify, that he'd sent horrible images or messages, or I wasn't able to stand by and allow that to happen. So I actually sent everything to him. I then screenshotted that group, everything in it, and I removed myself. I then blocked Lucy, and that was it. That was the end for me. But it wasn't the end for her. And the following day, she would create what I can only call a horrendous smear campaign against myself. It hasn't just been against myself. She actually messaged my daughter and told my daughter if I did speak out and reveal who she really was, then she had all my voice recordings, which included discussing the domestic violence, which is obviously my daughter's father. She was going to send her my voice notes, which my children don't remember those 11 years. They were very young. And there's things that happened within that DV marriage that I would, to this day, even though they're children, I would not want them to know. She also was then going to send the voice notes to my actual abuser if I revealed who she was. Now, I have spent my whole life afraid of my abusers. I have always kept the silence because out of fear. And now I stand here a very proud, very healed 44-year-old woman with 6 children. Now, if anything anything happened in my children's lives, they've always been taught they speak up and they speak loud. Now, I couldn't remain silent over this because, number one, she'd already messaged my child. So I did reveal who she really was. I've always tried to do it in a very factual, non-bullying way. I have spoken my truth. I've told my story. Obviously, this hasn't landed well upon Lucy, and she has continued to stalk and harass and make false allegations. One of them was she was phoning social services on my 3 grandchildren. We have the Fact Freak, and we have the voice notes. I think they're on my profile, and I believe the Fact Freak has a YouTube video where those actual voice notes are, where she threatens she's phoning social services. She has contacted my place of work. She has contacted my partner's place of work. It has been an ongoing battle with her. The sick messages. She continues to do daily lives where she mocks. She calls me fat, because she knows I had a 17-year past struggle with eating. For clarity, I am a size 10. I weigh 9 stone. I'm very healed over my eating pattern, but not everybody is, and I find it absolutely disgusting that body shaming another woman is even allowed on this app, let alone this professional coach. She still claims she's a professional coach. She's still looking for vulnerable women to coach. Not only did she commit the crime against a 15-year-old boy, she obviously has multitude of charges too. One of them is using a sharp weapon against her ex-partner.
Wow.
Others include stalking, which you will be aware of if you were to Google her, and that is multiple cases, charges, found guilty of stalking. As I talk to you now, she is currently doing community service on her recent stalking charge, which was only the 2nd week of March, so very, very new. This woman has destroyed lives going back over decades now. This is nothing new. There is threatening to punch with her weapon. Yes, don't fuck with queens. Laura actually reached out to me on TikTok when all this was going on and absolutely saw the devastation that she was causing to not only myself, but my partner, my children. And Don't Fuck with Queens was born. So she's actually probably my biggest supporter, and without her, I don't think I would have got as far as I have. When I talk about stalking, it's, continuously messages a day. They're all very degrading, personal. She laughs relentlessly that I don't have any teeth, that I have to wear filters. I'm very proud. I don't have to wear a filter at all. I just love filters, and I'm all for women empowerment. And she'll laugh at my wigs. Well, I have actually very bright pink hair and it's very long and thick. I don't wear a wig out. I just love them for TikTok. It's kind of, she will use every covert insult she can. She continuously uses the word cancer because my grandson was diagnosed with prostate cancer. She's just absolutely evil. To this day, she still sits on her lives and she laughs. She laughs about her crime. She believes it happened 8 years ago, so it's of no relevance to us. We should not be talking about it now because we are not the judge and jury. She was on the register for 3 years, basically. That was her punishment.
Yeah.
There's no remorse. There's no accountability, and she still blames the innocent child. She was telling me that he was a week off his 16th birthday, and he wanted it. He lasted 3 seconds. It was the worst SHAG of her life. He hadn't even brushed his teeth. Now, what most people won't be aware of is it wasn't just a boy. This was her friend's son. This boy was groomed and raped. His mum and Lucy weren't particularly close friends, but the boy's mum obviously wasn't too happy with having this type of friend. There's, lots of toxic, there's a lots of jealousy within Lucy. She's jealous of every woman she comes across, and I think boy's mum had just basically thought, you're not really, hadn't fallen out with her, just became busy, took a little bit, a step back away from the friendship, and out of revenge, she committed the ultimate act to hurt the friend that didn't particularly want to be friends with her anymore. And that's what she did.
Yo.
Fucking what a pain my ass was.
No, you're in. I appreciate you sharing that with us for the people that are coming in that haven't heard this story. You're really, really brave, and you're an amazing person.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I'm sorry that you've had to go through that. No one should have to go through that.
It's ongoing because she's still. We managed to have her last account, no contact coach, bananaed. She did go away, and a few weeks later she came back and she just didn't get the following, so she was very angry. She went away, and now she's come back with the utmost to destroy me. Another thing she's actually done is my partner, he is a professional rugby player, but he's also 43 and he'll be coming to the end of his career. So he's also a bus driver now. Obviously being a bus driver, you can't answer your phone. Lucy had actually found my personal Facebook page, obviously contacted somebody who perhaps likes a lot of my things, and had reached out to a real life friend of mine. And had said, hey, I work for, and said the company that my husband works for, can you get in touch with Emma? We can't find a number, and he's been involved in a horrific bus accident today. So my friend straight away obviously phoned me and said, Emma, sit down. V's, the office is just phoned. And you can imagine, believing that my husband had been involved in he'd crashed his bus basically, and I don't think he was it was absolutely, and again, that wasn't true. She has phoned my children's school and said things. She's threatened to phone social services. At the moment, she's calling me a benefit fraud. I have no idea why, but this is her latest thing. I'm not quite sure what a benefit fraud is. I don't quite know how you become one. But yeah, every day seems to be a new narrative with her against me, and I don't think this will ever end. I would like to see her receive a full social media ban, because I do believe she is a danger, not only to vulnerable women, but to children. And the reason I say that is there has been 2 underage TikTok, I'm not even going to say creators because they're children. I don't know if Lucy was aware of the children's ages who she was talking to, but she was approaching them and asking them to benefit fraud is when you get benefit but work. I get child benefit, but I believe everybody gets that. But yeah, she was reaching out to minors. They're under 18, and when they didn't want to be a client of hers, she became incredibly abusive. We've had at least 16 victims from her past now reach out to Don't Fuck the Queens and myself. And so I can see a few of them in here now. And that's their story to tell when they're ready. And that's because they're still afraid of her. Child benefit isn't fraud. No, I would hope it isn't. But again, she just seems to come up with a new narrative of things.
Does anybody know Luked 92?
No.
They're asking to come in. If anyone knows them.
Yeah, and again, it has just been, and I think what I'm finding very difficult is when she's doing her lives, the way she speaks to her. The 2 posts I've just put on my account today obviously were when he was 12. I do know he's had a birthday recently and he's turned 13. That to me is no goddamn different if he's 12 or 13. You are on a live where lots of people are witnessing. You are sat in bed asking your 12-year-old little boy if he would like some adult dancers and would you like to pour some Prosecco over yourself. Like, this is not normal behaviour. And I can't remain quiet. I'm just as I say, mum to 6, granny to 3. This is not what I do. I don't want any involvement in this type of world. Unfortunately, it's being brought on my doorstep. And she continues to harass myself, my partner, my children, my online friends, my real life friends. I created a great big community on WhatsApp where there were hundreds of vulnerable women like me who wanted to use our trauma from our past to help other people. This community was incredible. I was so goddamn proud of the women in there. I really, really was. She somehow planted a mole within my WhatsApp group. She began phoning my real life friends. Some of them are on my profile. Everything I'm saying, I have factual receipts for. There's nothing I can say that I can't back up. I believe the voice notes are in a TikTok post. You can listen to them yourself. She's vile, she's dangerous, and I think so many are afraid to speak out that I've been put in a position where I've had to because she speaks about me daily. And I didn't for a few weeks. I just thought, this woman will go away, but she's not. She is a convicted child SO. She's a serial convicted stalker. And I believe she is a danger. And I don't believe people like her should be allowed on a social media site that accepts children. And that's about all I can say on her in a very calm way. There's lots I would like to say, but obviously I can't.
You know when she says in her videos that you cannot do this or do that because you don't know what you are doing and people and all of that, yeah?
Yes.
In this country, there is something called expert by experience. Mm-hmm. And you can do that because you have the experience, because you have gone through it. And actually you can do it because I got people I work with that they are experts by experience through autism, through whatever. And you can do it because there's no one better than someone that has experienced it to help other people.
I don't believe she has any qualifications to be a coach, and my fear is she's still looking for people to coach, and she has approached children.
She doesn't have no qualifications. I was checking that this morning. Mm-hmm. I cannot find her anywhere.
Do you have an ongoing thing at the moment with the police with the harassment side?
The police I've been to multiple times. I've given multiple witness statements. The police just basically keep saying, just block her, send us any evidence, obviously. Because she hasn't come to my door, because she hasn't particularly threatened my life, they don't deem it as serious enough to take action right now. But what they've said...
No. When you have been a victim of abuse in this country, even if because she was a friend, right, call it whatever you want, right, it goes under stalking and harassment law.
I agree, and that is how I thought it would be seen as. Unfortunately, it hasn't. They've given me basically an email link, and what happens online is she must state my name. I mean, she has said my full name on multiple lives. She tends to refer to me as the ugly, fat, pink thing, or pink creature. And what the police have said, unless what she's saying identifies me or my children, then really she could be talking about anybody. And as I say, this is a serial convicted stalker. She's, been convicted 4 times. She's a prolific, experienced stalker, so she will be aware of this. She has said she has my address. I mean, I can't comment on, she's in Scotland, I'm in England, and, I have 3 children who live with me. 3 are adults and have their own homes, but I have 13, 14 and 15-year-old boys, and I can assure you, if she ever stepped foot near my door, well,
Yeah,
Well,
but the thing is, that's reactive abuse, and that's why.
It almost sounds like she's the one being protected because what did
yes,
she
I
get?
agree.
She only got, what was it, a probation order or something?
That's always the
Yet
way
again,
forward. And just to confirm, this woman has got a child with her now as well, hasn't she?
Yes.
2 still at home.
She's still got 2 kids at home. This is a convicted SO. This is, as you heard the lady down there, and I'm sorry for all the troubles that you went through. This woman is vile. I witnessed her in a live feed a few days ago. The woman does not care. The woman is absolutely vile. And really, really, really is a danger. And personally, my opinion, the police are failing a lot of different people when it comes to issues like this. They really are. Now, there's people that gets their kids taken away from them for little or less reasons by the social services. And this is a convicted, I'm going to
Yes.
say it, it's a peddler. And
Yes.
has still got 2 kids living at home with her.
Yes.
That is when things becomes a problem, you
That's
know?
what I don't understand, because it's not just what she has done, right? It's like, I don't understand how social services is not seeing how the mental health of those children are going to be affected, because when those kids go to school, they're going to be bullied for what their mother has done.
I agree.
Don't TikTok have a policy though for people that have been known offenders that have been convicted for
To say that
abuse
I'm just about
against
to say that,
minors?
she breaches these. Someone, according to someone a couple of weeks ago. Now, don't hold me to it, but I do believe that they have a part there. That if you have a conviction, anything to do with children, anything to do with what she's been charged with, you are in breach of the terms of use, and you're not meant to be on this app. So I don't know if there's any way that anyone knows a way to get a message across to TikTok, but I suppose if it was that easy, we wouldn't be having this every day.
She
Exactly.
states because she was only on the register for 3 years, that's run out. It's I don't know what terminology you use when a conviction's been served.
There's no time frame for a paedophile. Once a paedophile,
Agree, I agree.
Then they should be signed up for life, not just 3 years, 2 years, 5 years. It's bullshit.
And once
She
you
did
have a
receive-
conviction on your record, it doesn't go from your record after 3 years. It stays on your record. The conviction stays there.
She also received a 3-year social media ban, but again, that's spent.
Wow.
So she's back with vengeance, and I'm her main target at the moment. She talks about my children daily. My children are 13, 14, 15, all boys.
Do you know what, Sam? I don't know. Sam's said as Ofcom investigated this app. I have no idea.
But they should with all of this, because, you know, the other ones, we don't know if they are convicted or not. This one, we know that she was convicted. We know that she has a record and still is here. It doesn't make no sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
Can I just say, my fear of this woman, she's got children in school. What happens if they fetch any of their friends back to sleep? Does the school know?
Well, there you go. Is that issue? You know, that is the issue here. You've got to get the account closed down. What are they going to do? They're going to move to another social media app and another social media app. So,
And then she'll come back again.
and she'll
on
come
this
back
one.
again after a while, and then just build up a platform again and be round in circles again. The letdown here is the actual justice system. That's where the big letdown here is. You know, overall, the people at fault is the ones dishing out the sentences. I mean, I don't know what the story is in court, but she's done things with a minor. How there shouldn't be no story to it. Meanwhile, probably in the same court, the same day, someone who stole a pair of trainers out of JD got 12 years. You know?
What?
No, but I'm only saying that's
I know what you mean. because
That's
they
an
don't get away
example.
with it.
I mean,
It's
you'll
an
get,
example,
yeah, like
but
you said.
do you see what I'm trying to say here? Like,
Yeah, it's crazy though,
and
isn't it?
major crimes like this, you know, major crimes like this, I was like, okay, listen, you know, whatever, what these people have got, and I think it boils down to what a lot of people are saying is some, and I'm not saying all, okay, because I really stand firm. There was good and bad in everyone. But I do think that some corrupt judges.
Yeah,
or
she's
whatever-
not. She was known as contact coach, apparently. I think.
Yeah, some judges don't want to dish out something that might slap them back in the face in the long run, and I think they're very, very careful of what guidelines when it comes to sentencing that they dish out, and that's just my opinion. That does not make it facts. It's
No,
just
I think
my
you're
opinion.
right because we mentioned the other day that I think is because she is a woman. And I'm really sorry. I think this because she's a woman and she has children. But I do know for a fact that when you have been convicted or something like that, when you are on probation, that she's now doing whatever many hours. And
She's currently on community service for her fourth stalking
when you are
charge.
doing
Amy, she's convicted for sleeping with a 15-year-old.
So when you're in community service, they do put an order on all ex-offenders, yes? They put an order that is quite long for them to don't be able to be near anyone under 18 or boys or girls or what have you. And I don't really think that they must have put it to her because her boys are still with her.
Well, you put it this way to you: when someone said there, they might think the sentence is because as a woman. I'm going to have to disagree on that. The reason being is some vile thing, and I have the video about this there, and it was like a documentary team. Someone, whoever that is making a tea, you may as well put the mic in the cup. I can't hear it loud enough. But basically, sorry.
That's me.
All right.
I'm very stressed right now, Tony. I'm having a cup of tea.
I'm sorry.
At least
I'm sorry. No, I just thought, honestly,
I'm
because
being stalked by a peddler. I'm having a cup of tea.
my right ear could hear it more. My left ear wasn't ringing enough. I just wanted to make sure that the both ringing.
I was just checking you were listening to me.
I 100%.
That's what's.
All right.
Apologies.
So I'm trying to leave up where I'm trying to continue on. Can I have 2 sugars with that, by the way? Yeah, please.
on its way.
Does anybody know the person that wants to get into the box? They're called P. Hattle Shay or
I
something.
don't have a clue. I do not have a clue. No.
I don't know him.
Yeah. This fella. Now listen to this. This fella done it to a 3-year-old child, and done the worst that anyone could ever do to a child, and got 3 years.
That's disgusting. Absolutely. I'm sorry.
And
but
if anyone wants to question me about that, I will show you the bit of a documentary.
That boils my goddamn blood.
Where this crew, someone put a snippet out of it, and he spoke about. They asked him how many years did he get for it, and he said 3 years. And then they've brought him to this safe zone, and they're looking to try to get name change because of the danger he's in.
I'm sorry, but I hope they find him, and I hope they string him up.
I promise you, if anyone wants to see the bit, it's going to trigger you. You will see this man speaking about what he did. Openly, not a bit of bother in him, and 3 years he got.
See, that's what pisses me off, Tony. When people say, "Oh, they can be rehabilitated," when they cannot.
There's no rehabilitation for that. I tell you what, I'm sorry, I take that back. There is rehabilitation.
Oh yeah,
and
well,
it's a bullet in the back of the.
Thank you. Exactly.
It's as simple as that. That would be my rehabilitation. I'm going to have to jump down before I get him or myself a violation, but I will jump back up. Yeah.
Tommy,
I do agree with you 100% on that one, Tony. I'm sorry, I do.
Yeah.
But that's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, a woman gets only 3-year community service.
that's like me having my son and my abuser living 2 minutes from my house and asking me to move.
Exactly. No doubt.
Lucy is protected. She sits
Shay,
on
if
her
you've got something
lives.
to say, just
I'm
put it in the
not concerned
comment.
over the kids what go to the school, the same school as their kids, in case they have sleepovers and that. That's my concern.
Okay, can I just reference this comment in the chat? This one says, Tony, I need to speak with you, buddy. If you click on my name, just message me, and when I jump out of here now, I will go straight to the messages. So send me a private message, yeah, please. All right, if you send me a private message, I'll respond to you now. All right, I'm going to jump out quickly, Cole, and I'll be back in a minute, yeah? All right?
Yeah, no worries.
Take care, everyone. I'll catch you in a minute. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, as someone's just commented, Lucy obviously did then go on to write a book about her crime. Obviously, it's a very fake narrative. She is the victim in the book, but even to this day, she's advertising her book.
Someone that has committed a crime cannot benefit for the commission of that crime. That's a law.
She's turned it into a fictional story.
It just shows she's got no remorse for what she did either.
Amazon are selling this book. Why are Amazon allowing a convicted child pedophile to write a book about her crime of grooming and raping a 15-year-old boy and selling it?
That is disgusting. That is an insult to the victim. I'm sorry, but it is.
Of course it is.
It's a nasty insult.
She also... People who go onto her lives and question her, what she'll say is, for £35 an hour, I'll tell you what really happened.
Wow. Jeez.
I have all the voice recordings. I have all the video clips to back up everything I say. For those that don't know, you can follow me on my profile. Don't follow me, just go and have a look. You will see it all there.
Welcome to the live, everyone that's just joining.
Afternoon, Ice. Can I just, I've just got home and I'm cooking tea. Can I just say very quickly, and then I'll go on mute while I'm eating my tea. Obviously, you've got a few hundred people in here now. Anybody who was triggered by this live, anybody who has issues, please go and contact the Ghosts. They have a fantastic aftercare support group. They are a fantastic safeguarding team. They will signpost you to anybody that will give you as much support as you can. So please, anybody who is triggered in here, please go and contact the Ghosts. They will support you in any way, shape or form. I'll stay in the box, mate, but I'm just going to mute while I have my tea.
No worries.
I agree with you on that. That kid is going to be mentally scarred for the rest of his life. While she's living it up.
The child does have an incredible support system. I am in contact with 16 of Lucy's past victims. We have all come together to support each other to date, yes.
If there's anybody who would like to come in and possibly ask Emma some questions, if that's all right with her.
Of course.
I just really, again, this is the second time you've been in and you've told your story, and I appreciate you doing that.
Can you please mute when you're using your e-cig, please? It's annoying. I do apologise for using my e-cig. What I will say is, diagnosed as bipolar and post-traumatic stress, and being a victim of child SA myself, you can imagine how triggering and traumatic it is for me talking about it. I will try not to use my e-cig, but for me it is just a stress reliever.
Christ alive, how is she still walking the streets? Well, so my question is, how she only got...
She does have a partner.
Sorry, go on.
She has a partner who lives on a barge boat.
Her fella lives on a barge boat?
Yes. So she has 3 children. One is of adult age now, one is 17, one has just turned 13. She normally leaves her 13-year-old son at home with a 17-year-old, and she is often on the canal boat, let's say, for 4 days a week.
Damn, and them kids are left at home?
My supposed observation, worry, perhaps overthinking, no factual evidence, is her and a partner, older gentleman, has been dating over 3.5 years, yet he's never with her children. He has never stepped foot in her house. Mm-hmm. And nobody knows anything about this guy.
Feel free to put a request to come up if you want to speak, guys. Anyone else in the comments that I've had a dealing with a run-in that would like to talk out?
Is there any way, so each time she's live, is anyone, like, obviously no violations or nothing comes back? I take it she's just too clever and watching what gets said.
So that again, Tony. I missed what you said then.
When she's live, is anyone trying to get the live feed taken down, shut down?
Tried and tried and
Yes.
tried. I even went into
Yes.
a live today and I said some things.
No violations constant, is
No
it?
violations, no, none at all.
And that's how, unfortunately, it's going to be, because, you know, she's a very, very clever woman. So she's going to put herself in a situation where she ain't going to...
Fact Freak got a last account taken down.
We worked together as quite a big team at that point to do everything we possibly could. She was leaking my address, she was leaking my children's names, she was leaking everything about me personally.